to understand their mindset. It's a new generation. We can't always compare what we were doing during the student generation. Generation X, Y has come now. So we have to get into their shoes, understand what problems they're facing, and think from their point. Listen to them, and with open mind, when you listen to them, that is when we can will not definitely not help. So that is probably one quality which they can prepare the answers, and practice writing the answers even before the exam.
There should be bullet points, key points, and the examiner, he or she really looks whether the student has understood the concept or not, and definitely diagrams.
Similarly, internship is the turning point. So it can make or break you to focus on MDS.
Hi, Dr. Avinash, sir. Thank you for accepting our request and coming to our show. Welcome to Wise Dentist Success Talks with Dr. Ravi.
Thank you, Ravi. It's a pleasure being with you. So I'm all set.
So how have you been doing? How is the pandemic treating you?
Yeah, it's just part of a life. We have got adjusted now. It's just going on. Like at least this time, though the wave is quite bigger than the last time, we are well prepared from clinic point of view, practice point of view. We are prepared and we've been taking precautions.
Okay,
and,
let's move on.
Luckily, none of us got affected this time.
Great. Let's move on directly to our question and answer series. I'm pretty sure that the viewers are hungry to take the gold nuggets of Dr. Avinash, sir. So my first question. So as we all know, it is a tough and uncertain time, and definitely for doctors. So how are the college students doing in this tough time?
Okay. Definitely, it's uncertain times, and it's really tough for everyone. The key here is to adapt. So like students, even teachers are finding it difficult, and we have made a lot of modifications, and students are also accepting that. So anytime, like say this pandemic can happen anytime, or any other uncertainty can happen anytime. So the key is adapt, and I'm happy that our students are adapting, and they're able to learn even in a distance mode. In between, we had some window period where we could conduct some clinicals for them. See, here I would like to say one point here. See, whether there was pandemic or not, we always had to take precautions. Infectious diseases were always there. So we were taking that one. And this time more people became serious. And I'm very happy that now everybody has realized the importance of infection control. Okay, so that way, it's good. Right now, again, we are under lockdown, but very soon we'll be starting with we'll be going back to the college.
That's what very nicely said, that this is a time, and the adaptation is one of the best features human can always possess. So, doctor, as we all know, you're a good teacher. We know a good teacher not only gives a decent education, but plays a major role in shaping a child's future by influencing it. So students like teachers who understands them and their problem. So as per you, what are the qualities a teacher should possess to be student friendly?
Yes. See, first thing is we need to understand their mindset. It's a new generation. We can't always compare what we were doing during the students. There are some times when even me keep telling to students that we are doing that one, we are doing this one. That's not the way now. It's a very new generation. Generation X, Y has come now. So we have to get into their shoes, understand what problems they're facing, and think from their point of view. And nowadays students are very sensitive. We should not we should be very careful while using the words, and just listen to them, and with open mind, when you listen to them, that is when we can understand them, and guide them in future, like, or mentor them properly when we listen to them properly. Okay. So that is one quality what I believe that a teacher should have to understand student and guide them better.
Yes, definitely. Very nicely said. As we all know, students want a teacher who is lenient, calm, and easy to get along. And from our sources, we know that you have all these three, qualities. So, what are the the students like about Dr. Avinash sir? If you can tell us about this.
Okay, ideally, you should be asking this question to my students. However, what I would like to believe is probably I'm calm and I don't express my anger. I don't show the anger. Even if I'm angry inside, I'll just think for a while what they may feel if I shout at them. It will not help. Shouting at them will not definitely not help. So that is probably one quality which makes them approach me.
So I believe you know the trick of being a good teacher and not shouting at them. I mean, definitely shouting at students. Maybe at some point, will take teacher and student, a bit apart. So I think you have a very good point of view towards encouraging and enriching the students.
True. That holds good even otherwise, even anywhere in the life. Even when you interact with other person, there's no point scolding them or getting angry at them. Just understand the situation and go accordingly.
Yes, I've heard a very beautiful thing from my mentor. What he said, instead of reacting to a situation, we should respond to that situation. So I believe reaction, anger is a form of reaction. So you rightly said that we should
Right.
respond in a very calm and cool way. Very nicely said, doctor. So let's move on to our next question. So we know ki the reason to do something in life or towards a goal is motivation. How do you motivate students when they approach
Um, See, many of them do come. Sometimes they don't have any direction. They just don't know what they're doing. So what we need to do is we need to just make them realize. Say, for example, if they've joined dentistry and if they're not doing good, just ask them why you have joined dentistry. What is your motive? Whether you're forced to attend dentistry or whether it is your choice, why you have done that. So do a little bit of brainstorming, and students are smart enough to think. Once you ask certain questions to them, they will think and then they'll realize, and they'll definitely get motivated by that. Once what happened was one of my senior teacher, he made I just listened to him. He was talking to a PG student. He was trying to make him realize the amount, the fees what he has paid, and each hour how much fees he is spending. So that student realized that every hour what he is spending in the college is worth of 1,000 rupees. Then he got motivated and he did good after that. So like that, even I try to make them realize what is their motive, what is their objective of joining dentistry. And most of the time it works. They realize and they start getting interested, and they do what they actually have to do after that. So, and each student is different. Each student we need to talk in a different way. So it depends on student as well. So this works. Brainstorming works for them.
Yes, very rightly said. Brainstorming and making them realize their time and their worth is a very
Right.
good factor to motivate a student. Very nicely summarized, Dr. Avinash sir. So my next question, as you are very active in academics, you're teaching, you're interacting with students on day-to-day life. I'm sure the students might be, approaching you just a day before exam. So what are your suggestions to students when they approach you a day before exam?
Okay, so this is both a difficult question as well as an easy question for me. Uh, See, like if you're prepared well for over a year, or even if you're prepared for last 2 3 months, you need not have to worry about anything. It's there. Everything is there inside your brain. So all that you need to do is, my advice is to stay calm, sleep properly the previous night, and just recollect what has been done. So sleep properly, that is very important. So I would like to tell my experience over here. During my first BDS, I was not very good at my theory writing. I was not very good at. And once I cleared my first year, then I just saw my marks and compared with my batchmates and friends. There's something missing. So then I thought to myself that I should do good in theory. So that is when I started preparing from the beginning. So more than preparing for exam, I try to understand the concept. So even now I advise the same thing to my students: understand the concept, forget about the exams, try to learn the subject, and last maybe 1 or 2 months or maybe 3 months before the exams, you prepare for exams. If you do that, the last day of exam is just you just have to relax and recollect. And also, one more thing is, I'm a firm believer in visualization. Visualize that you're writing exam and you're doing well. That is what you need to do the previous day. Just stay calm, visualize that everything is going well, and you're doing good at exam. So that really helps.
I really feel that the point you said, that understand the concept throughout the year and just prepare, 2 to 3 months before exam is a very good
Right.
point students should take from this, because what usually happens from students' perspective, right from day one, they start preparing only from the exam perspective, you know,
Correct.
and they tend to get, agitated, and they get tensed when the exam appears. And after the exams, everything, it evaporates. So very nicely said, Doctor. He understand the concept. I think till now,
Right.
whatever you said are everything that a student would want to hear. And if he or she applies everything what you've said, he or she will definitely succeed in whatever he's doing. Sir, we will move on to our next question. So, since you are a
Mhm.
teacher, you definitely must be checking, examination papers. So if I were to ask you, because as a student, we always used to, think however good or bad we are writing, it depends upon the examiner's mood, what marks are we going to get. So I would like to
Mhm.
ask you, what do examiners really take note of when they check, exam paper? Uh, are they too
Right.
serious? Are lenient? Or it varies from, individual to individual? And while being lenient or firm, what is the real reason behind, behind that step? If you could tell
Mhm.
us about it.
Yeah. See, the first thing is, there should be content there, content in the paper. What we look for is, as an examiner, or when I am evaluating the paper, I would look for key points. That is very important. Keywords and key points are very important. Okay, it's not the length of the paper or how much you have written, how good the language is. Even if your language is not good, all that you need to do is you need to convince the examiner or the evaluator that you know the concept. It can be done with the help of diagrams. Diagrams are very important. You can explain with the diagram. Wherever possible, draw a small diagram at least and try to explain with the diagram. Okay. And also just bullet wise, point wise, if you write, you will get good marks. Of course, handwriting and other language are added advantage, but we always would try to be neutral, not get biased by good handwriting. If there is good handwriting and if there's no matter in it, if the student has not understood the concept, that's not ideal thing to give marks. So all that what we look at is key points. There have been students who just write for maybe half a page for a short notes, but there'll be a lot of matter in it. We can't reduce marks. Everything they would have covered. So that is how it has to be written. So
Wow.
I usually call my students and ask them to write exams. What students can do is they can prepare the answers, prepare the answers and practice writing the answers even before the exams. Old papers are there, old question papers. You see the book, you see the textbook and write the answers so that you get to know the structure of the answer, how it has to be written, the flow of the answer. So that is how they need to prepare. This can be done 1 month or 2 months before the exams. They can try to start answering the questions. So again, this is
Okay.
based on my experience. I used to do this.
So I think the gold nugget out here is, the answer should not be lengthy. There should be bullet
Right.
points, key points, and the examiner, he or she really looks whether the student has understood the concept or not. And definitely diagrams. They do wonders as per what sir has said. Right, sir? So what happened? Since you've been a UG student, a PG, a teacher, and a guide, and have seen so many students' life. So what happens with student is many students, after the 4 years of their academics, once they pass, they feel like taking over and enjoying the whole internship, right? So my question to you is,
Right.
what mistakes students they usually do in their internship, and how wisely can they balance to make the most of it? Your views on that?
Yeah, it's a very valid question. See, like any other points in your career, see after 10th and after 12th, they call it as turning point. After 10th, you take the stream, you decide which stream to take. Likewise, after your 12th, you decide whether to which course you have to join. Similarly, internship is the turning point. So it can make or break your career if you focus it properly or if you don't focus it properly. Okay. So it's good to enjoy your internship, but this is when you need to be very clear what you would want to do next. Okay, whether you would want to go for private practice, whether you want to do your post graduation, or whether you plan to move abroad. This is one you have to decide. So what students can do is they can talk to a mentor during this time and take proper decision if they're not able to take any decision of their own. Always look at why you are doing that. Why should come, like many of the mentors say, start with why you are doing this particular course, what do you want to do. Be very clear with that one, be very specific. And also after 5 years, what do you want to be known as? If you're doing post graduation, what do you want to be known as? Whether you want to be known as an orthodontist, periodontist, prosthodontist, be very clear with it. Or if you don't want to do post graduation, if you are into practice, where would you want to stand, or where would your practice want to stand after 5 years? Think about this, then you'll get clarity. And also clinically, this is the time when you learn a lot. Till your final year BDS, you'll be thinking of exams. Okay, this is required for exams, so I'll learn this. This is the skill what is required. But in internship, you're free of your exams. You don't have anything to prove, or nobody is looking at your clinical acumen. So this is the time where you can approach the staff, or even postgraduate students can teach you and learn as many skills as possible. Whatever you love, you try to learn that one as much as possible. So this is one advice which I would like to give to interns. Again, this I regularly speak to interns whoever approach me, and this is what I advise to them.
Okay, so rightly said, Doctor, ki, as Dr. Avinash sir said, ki, after BDS, your internship is your turning point, and asking yourself why, having an aim, setting up a goal, ki, what would you want out of you, maybe in upcoming 5 or 10 years, maybe this will give you an answer, and being in touch with your mentors, your PGs, and your guide will definitely help you out. Answers. I move on to my next question, and the question is, how do you counsel students when they ask you what to pursue after PG?
Fine. See here again, we need to show them some direction, the possibilities. What are the possibilities, and what is the scope now? Many times, even I have faced this one after my BDS. During my days, it was only to focus on MDS. Okay, so I didn't even have plans of starting clinic at that point of time. For many reasons, I didn't know, and I didn't know about the opportunities abroad. Very few of my batchmates knew about that one, and they pursued that. So all that what we didn't have those days, now it is readily available. There are many opportunities, and there are many people to guide them. So look for the opportunities, be aware of where you can thrive. Okay, so that you have, once you have opportunities, you can decide where do you want to go. As you asked in the previous question, you need to see yourself what you want to do, where do you want to be after 5 years. If you're looking at abroad, start right away, rather than trying out something And if that doesn't work, then you go to other, you focus on one thing and go towards that particular specific goal. So that is what the students need to know once they finish BDS.
Yes, looking for opportunities, very rightly said, and one can see himself or herself uh, in upcoming 5 years. Focus is what.
Yeah, one more point I would like to add here is there's a lot of negativity which is being spread about dentistry. Like, why did you join dentistry? There's no scope. I don't believe in this. See, you have, like, it is all how you would take it and how you would see it. Okay, so if you think it is there's no scope for dentistry, you will definitely not have. But there's a lot of scope. You can do best whatever you're doing. You when you do the best, you will definitely succeed in it.
So, what do you expect out of a junior dentist, junior budding dentist who's just recently passed out from college and is ready to join your team? So, what are the points you look for?
Mhm. See, all that I look for is their dedication and willing to learn. That is what I need. Can say everything can be taught. Clinical skills, they would have some basic skills, but it can be improved on. Even soft skills can be taught as long as their attitude is right. Okay, so the attitude is everything, and they just need to be willing to learn whatever has been taught.
Yes, very rightly
So
said. Attitude,
that is what I look for.
attitude, and willingly.
Right. That's what I look for, and I interview them before taking him to my team, and you get to know, and it will be a probation period of 2 months, wherein most of them whom we have picked, they generally get adjusted. They're willing to learn, and that is how they can build their career later on. As long as they have right attitude, they can achieve.